GTM podcast, The Buddhist Knowledge. Today we are going to talk a little bit about the fundamentals of Buddhism. What does the Buddha teach? That will be summarized in this podcast. One of the knowledge that the Buddha discovered and earned himself the title Buddha is the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths realized by the Buddha during his enlightenment. It became the foundation for Buddhism. It explained that suffering is a part of unenlightened beings, that the origin of suffering arises from the attachment to desire or craving, that suffering ceases when attachment to desire ceases, and that freedom from suffering is possible through the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path. Now, let's talk about suffering that mentioned here. The meaning of suffering in Buddhism is often misunderstood by the West. The English word suffering is loosely translated from the Pali word dukkha. Dukkha covers the whole spectrum of psycho-emotional states, from a mind sense that things are not quite right to intense physical and mental pain. It may also be taken to mean that there is no lasting peace or rest in life, that we are forever under pressure and subject to disruption. Thus, impermanence and change are also a form of suffering. Since nothing lasts forever and everything is subject to change, people themselves create this suffering by trying to cling on to worldly pleasures. It is a common misconception that Buddhism believes that life is all suffering. This misconception will be removed once a person has a chance to understand the deeper meaning of Buddhism. What about the Eightfold Path? The Noble Eightfold Path is the path to end all suffering, leading to enlightenment. It consists of right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. The right view that mentioned here can also be translated as right perspective, right outlook, or right understanding. It is the correct way of looking at life, nature, and the world as they really are. In general, right view consists of understanding that the law of karma exists. Generosity is virtuous and should be practiced. Virtuous people are worthy of respect. Hospitality is good. Parents are worthy of our gratitude. And there is life after death. Heaven and hell exist. And enlightenment is attainable. An understanding of right view will inspire a person to lead a virtuous life, leading to freedom from suffering. Dhamma, the teaching of the Buddha. In fact, Dhamma has multiple meanings. There is no equivalent single word translation for Dhamma in Western language. In Buddhism, Dhamma means the truth, the way of nature, the way that things really are, ultimate reality, cosmic law and order, righteous conduct, path of righteousness, the law of righteousness, the right way of living, and the teachings of the Buddha. Well, what about the Buddhist conduct that the Buddha teaches? Buddhists follow these three basic practices: to do good, to avoid bad, and to purify the mind. Good deeds are achieved through acts of generosity and loving kindness. Bad deeds can be avoided through observation of moral conducts known as precepts. Cultivation of the mind is achieved through meditation. Now we mentioned about precepts. What are the precepts? Precepts are the guide principles that form the framework of Buddhism, ethic, conduct, and baseline of one's virtue. A person should at least practice the 5 precepts, which consist of not killing any living beings, including animals and insects, not stealing, not committing sexual misconduct, not lying, and not consuming intoxicating substances such as drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes. Now, we mentioned earlier is the meditation. Meditation is a means of mental development and cultivation. It is through meditation that our mind is trained, refined, and perfect. A mind that is restless is like stir water sullied by impurities, losing its clear-seeing quality. Meditation stabilizes the mind and elevates its quality, giving rise to mindfulness and wisdom. Meditation can be practiced by a lay person for the benefit of a happy life, as well as a monastic for the attainment of liberation. Meditation is universal. It is not only for Buddhists but for people of all faiths. Then, if we practice all this, what is the success then? Life in this world is very short compared to life in the afterlife realms. An average human lifespan is 75 years on earth. Life in the afterworld is much longer. One day life in heaven or in hell is equivalent to hundreds or thousands of years on earth, and in some cases even more. A wise and prudent person is mindful of this fact. He or she realizes that worldly wealth is short-lived and spiritual wealth lasts much longer. A wise person, therefore, does his or her best to cultivate as much virtue and merit as possible to build a successful spiritual future. Thus, success in Buddhism is defined in 3 levels: success in this life, material success; success in future lives, spiritual success; and the ultimate success, which is nirvana. And these are the fundamentals in Buddhism that most Buddhists practice and taught by the Buddha. I hope this can give you some light, understand a little bit more about Buddhist teaching for today. See you again in our next podcast.